I thought I'd do something different. I wrote down some of the things I wanted to talk about today as an attempt to, I don't know, give some kind of news. This is news. I'm going to give news. Blizzard is suing Valve since 2 months ago. Not suing Valve, but Valve, the company that's going to be behind making Dota 2, attempted to file a trademark under the name of Dota. Blizzard took offense because, well, I'll provide the link. You can read the entire legal, so far, the legal proceedings that have occurred. And it won't be decided till next year, I believe the 3rd month of next year. So after February, I think goes March. Let me just double check that. After February, we have March. Yes, indeed. So I think it's the 3rd month of 2013 is when everything will be decided. There's a lot of back and forth that's going to occur. But it seems that Blizzard's argument is that, well, Dota was initially a creation of from Warcraft's, from actually StarCraft's world editor with a Warcraft theme, and over the course of 7 years, Blizzard has maintained all of its products, and within the product, Dota was just a fan-made product, a fan-made contribution. So there's a lot of legal things happening there, and well, from the counter argument of Valve, it denies any claims that Blizzard has. It denies any information of it knowing that Blizzard has some ties to the word Dota. One of the key arguments that Blizzard uses is most people refer to, when someone says the word Dota, you refer to Blizzard, Warcraft 3, and because of that, I think that's the real problem that Blizzard is having. So I'm trying to look at it from both arguments, and I can't figure out if I were to be the judge in that case, it would be a nightmare, because who should it, it's tough. So I'll provide a link to that. It's very interesting. I read the whole legal proceeding. There's been a lot of mosque suicides in Moscow that somebody's been sending me links to, of people in their 13, 14, 15, 16 age group, and they've been jumping off buildings. I read one of the cases that was written in Russian. It was a journalistic article, and one of the girls that killed herself, she killed herself because she didn't want to get in trouble at school for something, for some sort of a test or some sort of a grade that she was just so afraid of. And that's what she wrote as a goodbye message. And the other ones I vaguely read, and one of them I read also said there was no information whatsoever. I do understand. I did research it just a little bit, and Moscow is considered to be the 2nd most highest city where people commit suicide. I got this from TD Bank. I got it for free. It's cool. It has all these. So it's free. I got it for free. It's a business tool. Like, I can write things on it, and usually you have to pay for this. But the reason I got it is because I used their coin sorting machine, and when you use their coin sorting machine and you guess how close you're going to get to the amount of money of the coins that you put into the machine, you get a prize. But over the course of years, I've learned to just ask them for the toys and not even bother with it. But I had to use a bunch of coins. Actually, I thought it was going to be $300 worth of coins. I had $300 worth of $1 coins that I had to deposit into my bank account, and one of them was a quarter, and I received that money from a bank. So they messed up, and they were putting the coins inside these little envelopes. At the same time that we are currently right now, there's an RH meeting happening, and I was listening to it, and it's very inspiring, very motivating. They're doing so much work. It's a StarCraft 2 gaming community. They're really hard to explain what it is exactly, but it's just a StarCraft 2 community. I don't know what the answer to that. The most important thing out of this is the suicides in Moscow, and I don't know the answer to it. Or a solution to it. It's just, well, I know one thing though. I don't know how it is in Russia. I plan on seeing how it is there. But at least in the schools that I went to, there was always this big effort of people creating pamphlets. For instance, what to do if you're in a bad relationship. And it gives you some suggestions, and it gives you some ideas how to determine if you're in a bad relationship. A pamphlet on what should you do when you have HIV, for instance. What to do if you have a friend who's doing drugs, or a pamphlet on why you should not do drugs. A pamphlet on suicide and family problems, and gives you all these resources that you can tap into, attempt to, you know, help yourself or help somebody else by giving you numbers to different hotlines, to giving you information about some of the major organizations that are involved in working with people with some of these problems, or deterring people from doing these things that will create problems in their lives. And I'm curious if in Russia they have something like that, or at least on what level. Like, for instance, I mean, the way I picture it here, at least in the United States, is I can almost assure you that I can go to any school and there's going to be a big wall with all sorts of pamphlets, all sorts of information, just like if you were to go to a doctor's office and you have information upon information, pamphlets and pamphlets and pamphlets of just information to help you. And I wonder on what level it is done over there, and if it's not done, or if it's done on a very bad level. It's an idea for somebody in Russia to do that. You can make, I mean, it's something, doing something like that will get you money, but that's not why you should be doing it. But it's there. If anybody's in Russia, sitting there right now watching, they don't know what to do with themselves, or they don't have any money, go make little pamphlets. You can make money and you can do a good thing. Well, how, if you ask yourself, if you're wondering how would you make money, well, you would be reaching out to companies who are going to be sponsoring for your time and the printing material, and creating little pamphlets is not very cheap. And then you're going to have to reach out to schools and let them know that you've created this pamphlet and you want to have it in the school, and it's going to be all these different resources and all these different organizations that you gathered and spent the time researching, gathering to put up on the pamphlet. I had an idea like that once, to do it for court, for a small municipal court, where it seemed like everybody who was in there did not know what the procedures were. It was their first time in court. Everybody was scared, and there was a police officer walking around trying to answer questions to people, and it seemed like such a waste of time to have that police officer go around and answer all these questions, wasting his time. And all they needed was just a simple pamphlet of, like, at the very least, directions on where you need to go and how the line moves and where do you need to stand if you want to. It's, you know. Also, at the same time, this case with the Blizzard vs. Valve, I don't think it's getting much publicity, but I can see something like that would be detrimental to Blizzard if it's I mean, the person who's working on making Dota 2 was not, yeah, I don't know if he was the creator. People are saying IceFrog did not create Dota, but whatever. He's known for it because he spent a lot of time and worked on it, and now he's working for Valve. So I think that's going to be a question that's going to be raised up in court. Who came up with it, and then who's responsible for making it what it is by spending their energy, their hard work. I think in that case they will side with Valve, but then legally Blizzard does own it under their rules. When you have to sign up and you have to press yes, you signed up to all these rules. But again, a judge is going to decide all that. I'll be very curious how the ruling comes out. And I don't think Valve is going to surrender, because they've spent so much money already on marketing and the production of this game. They would require them to change the name of the game. But then at the same time, Blizzard is also, I haven't verified this, but Blizzard announced that they're going to release their own standalone free-to-play version of Dota called Blizzard Dota, using the StarCraft 2 editor. I assume the StarCraft 2 editor, plus some other things that probably are not released to the public, and the developers themselves that work at Blizzard have access to and use it to. These various little tools. So I'm very curious on how that's going to come about. I think that's all I really wanted to say. I just wanted to make a little news. I wanted to bring some news.